the Indiana Fever beat the Dallas Wings 102-83. This was a highly anticipated game because it was going to be the first time that Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers would be going up against one another in the WNBA.
Stop what you're doing. History just thundered through the WNBA. The Indiana Fever crushed the Dallas Wings 102-83 in the long-awaited first pro duel between Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers. 5 years of build-up, 2 college legends on a collision course, and every critic looking at you, Geno Auriemma, wondering if Clark's fireworks would fizzle in the big league. Instead, she lit a bonfire of records only she has ever set. Twice. If you're ready to relive every shattered benchmark, smash the comments with CC Record Breaker and buckle up. Let's roll. Picture it. 2 teenage prodigies torching gyms from coast to coast. Clark, explosive scorer, laser passer, logo 3 assassin. Bueckers, smooth, mid-range maestro with surgical court vision. Different styles, same destiny. A rivalry America couldn't ignore.
Hey, Caitlin. You've known Paige since middle school, AAU. You guys were on the U19 World Cup team together. Is there anything that maybe stood out then about her, whether it be on or off the court, that maybe still reigns true today?
I mean, I feel like she's played in the same manner that she, has since she was, whether we were on the U16 team together, U19 team together, whether it was me watching her in AAU, she's always just been smooth. She takes what the game gives her. Her midi has always been as nice as it's been this year. She's just she just plays way older than she is. She's confident, she's smooth, she just does everything at a high level, can score from all 3 levels. And that's how she's always played. And that's obviously translated really well.
Their college choices split the narrative wide open. Bueckers joined UConn's empire under Geno, chasing dynasty rings. Clark picked underdog Iowa, hungry to build its own throne. The clash came to a head every March, none louder than Clark's 41-point demolition that ended the Huskies' dreams and tilted the rivalry 2-1 in her favor. Fans drew battle lines. Debate shows fed the myth.
And a lot of people are saying, oh, everything is she was Caitlin before Caitlin, she's better than Caitlin and all this stuff. That kind of stopped in the media. Caitlin Clark put up better numbers in the WNBA than Paige did in college.
Both stars declared for the W, and ABC circled their first showdown in red ink. Clark carried a 2-1 advantage, but also the weight of Rocky Fever form. Viewership boomed. The country had to know who'd own the next chapter.
And Diana said it best. This kid's in for a rude awakening. And they all jumped over her, but they didn't read the whole thing that she said. But nobody's printing. Diana Taurasi was right. This kid's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. And she's a rookie. And if you're a WNBA player, if you're any kind of player, you're going to say, I'm going to make a statement.
The buildup was shaky. Indiana dropped head-scratchers to the Sparks and the expansion Valkyries, leaving fans bewildered. Confidence wobbling. Critics howling.
Talking to our player development coach yesterday, and he was just sent me a few things of even Steph going through a slump. I think he was 27 for his last 70 or something like that. The best in the world go through it, and I think that's where you can find your confidence. And I think the thing I always fall back on is I know how hard I've worked, so this isn't something that's going to last, and the best players in the world go through this. So I feel like I'm getting good shots, and I think that's why it's frustrating, because those are the shots that I make.
Behind the curtain raged a tactical Cold War. Clark demanded breakneck tempo. Head coach Stephanie White preferred half-court chess. Their heated exchange on the Dream sideline went viral. Proof of a scheme tearing at the seams.
I feel like this stretch, this is a big game for us. I think we've struggled in the fact that we're able to play one good game, and then we play a bad game, then we play a good game, then we play a bad game. So I think for us is we got to find a way to be able to stack really good games together. And then we go on the road and, we're on a back-to-back, which is just a challenge in itself. No matter who you're playing, we play Connecticut, then we play New York. So I think Steph's message was, yes, All-Stars coming up, that break's coming up, but our focus is on these 3 games that we have left. So in that sense, I do think it's critical that our focus just remains on the game in front of us. And I feel like that's what everybody in the locker room is doing.
Injuries, national team returns, ever-shifting rotations, chemistry evaporated. Clark battled a cold streak, yet vowed, Steph Curry style, to keep firing. One good game, one bad game, she sighed. Something had to give.
There is definitely something going on within the locker room, the front office. Something is off, man. This is the 3rd situation in one game we have had involving Caitlin Clark and the coaching staff and pretty much another player. And it looked like Caitlin Clark and Stephanie White definitely had a situation where they was in a heated exchange right before halftime.
Dallas became the tipping point. White finally unshackled Clark. Your pace, your offense, full control. Early on, it looked merely good. Then, with one flick-ahead touchdown pass, the dam burst.
It can be frustrating when your shot isn't going in the way that you want it to, but then I look at the box and it's like I'm really 4 shots away from having a really good game, a really good shooting game. So that's where you find your confidence, and I know those are shots that I can make, and I'm never going to stop shooting. So, until I break out of it, I'm just going to keep launching, and that's all I know, and I'm still confident in everything that I can do.
Indiana detonated for 36 points in 10 minutes. A +21 avalanche. Full court dimes, transition threes, poetry in sneakers. Wings defenders looked like extras in a Clark highlight reel.
Lee Rue the other night had a season-high 18 points. Here's Boston turning the corner. Dishing to Hull. Extra feed Clark. A deep 3. You bet! And he actually brought up stat from a shooting slump Steph Curry went through. She said that made her feel a lot better. That pass will as well. Right on the money to Mitchell.
Cunningham attacked the closeout.
Clark, the rejection of Quinterly. Clark, the flick ahead. Oh, beautifully done. Touchdown fever.
Kelsey Mitchell, 20 on 8 for 12. 21-game double-digit streak alive. Natasha Howard, 18 on 8 for 9. Sprinting lanes like track day. Aaliyah Boston, paint powerhouse, feasting off Clark's gravity. The chemistry, electric.
Here's Clark being hawked by Isaiah James. Clark sidestepping 3 is good. Clark backing down Quinterly. 6 to shoot, fading away and dropping it in. Beautiful. Here's Clark off the screen. Through the lane, feeds Howard. Another assist for Clark. That's 13 as Howard is up to 18 points.
Indiana's 64 first-half points shattered a franchise mark and topped any team half this season. 30 assists, tied club record, with 13 from Clark. Every pass had purpose. Every cut felt lethal. Sophie Cunningham's 13 off the bench pushed her past 1,500 career points and turned the game into a track meet.
And he actually brought up stat from a shooting slump Steph Curry went through. She said that made her feel a lot better. That pass will as well. Right on the money to Mitchell. A tenacious start from Caitlin Clark. Here's Agumbawale off on a 3. Long rebound. Mitchell, you're not going to catch her. Kelsey Mitchell in for 2. They elevate each other because of how hard they compete. Nice look. Aaliyah Boston with a gorgeous dime to Kelsey Mitchell.
That 36-point quarter tied the 3rd highest in team history, built on 76.2% shooting and a 33-9 blitz. Dallas looked gassed, brutalized by a tempo they couldn't match. Proof: Clark ball works in the pros.
Mitchell bounces. Boston one more time. This time Mitchell delivering. And Boston up to 13 points. Indiana shooting 66%.
While the scoreboard ballooned, Clark pieced together a stat line only she had ever posted. Double-digit points, Baker's dozen assists, and a theft spree brewing.
Cunningham the rebound. Cunningham swiftly up the floor, finds Howard for two. Sophie Cunningham making a huge impact off the bench, and Dallas will take a timeout.
In this lineup, Natasha Howard is the quickest post player on the...
Steal number 5 sealed the deal. 14 points, 13 assists, 5 steals. The only WNBA player to hit that combo twice. Add a highlight block to assist sequence, and her defensive IQ was trending just as hard as her logo range.
Good dub. 2 in a row. 2 more to All-Star. Let's go.
W. Oh, Fever Dose, you already know what's coming. Bow, bow, bow! On to the next. Hell yeah! Can you use that one? Let's go, baby. She's a Christian. W. Now we gotta go get another chase.
Bueckers and Dallas had no antidote. All-star Arike Ogunbowale bricked to 0 for 10. Physical swipes at Clark backfired. She turned every grab into an open layup for someone else. The 102-83 final was a mic drop on every pundit doubting her W readiness.
It's in bounds. Clark backing down Quinterly. 6 to shoot, fading away and dropping it in. Beautiful mid-range fadeaway from Caitlin Clark.
The prophecy stands complete. Unleashed Clark equals ceilings shattered. Team records, historic lines, and at last, harmony between star and coach. With road tests at Connecticut and New York looming, the WNBA's newest chapter of Clark-Bueckers rivalry is officially must-see TV. Hype for the Fever's future? Sky high. If you're riding with Clark, hit the comments with CC Record Breaker. Like, subscribe, and punch that bell. Tap the video on screen, and we'll see you in the next one. Ask ChatGPT.
At Cunningham attacked the closeout.
Clark, the rejection of Quinterly. Clark, the flick ahead. Oh, beautifully done. Touchdown, Fever.
Sophie Cunningham runs the route and puts her hand up in the air, gives Caitlin Clark the target. Barely over the fingertips of Hines Allen. Beautiful, beautiful pass. Catch, in stride, finish. Beautiful basketball.
This wasn't just Caitlin Clark silencing her critics. This was a demolition of the entire argument against her. For weeks, the
Fever looked
headlines
good, but
screamed
not
that she
spectacular.
couldn't lead.
They were
couldn't
finding their
defend,
rhythm slowly.
Couldn't handle the pressure of the WNBA spotlight. But on this night, every narrative melted under the heat of her performance. The girl who was once labeled too flashy for the pros just delivered one of the most complete games in league history. No overhype, no favoritism, just pure basketball brilliance. Analysts who once questioned her toughness, silent. Opponents who mocked her defense, exposed. Even doubters who called her stat padding were forced to acknowledge. This wasn't empty numbers. This was leadership incarnate.
I feel like this was one of their best games as far as playing Fever basketball, which is a fast-paced style of basketball. They played Fever basketball for, I would say, about 75 to 80% of the game. And we have obviously seen this style of basketball, the style of basketball that we all know and love from the Indiana Fever, but we have only really seen it in short spurts. There have been so many games and so many times throughout this season where it feels like the Fever system is a slow down basketball type of system. Their offense wasn't running smoothly, but in this game, they were playing quick. They were moving the ball around. They had so many points off of the fast break.
Paige Bueckers came in with hopes of flipping the script, of proving that the college losses were flukes, that she had grown more pro-ready. But under the spotlight, it was Clark who turned pressure into poetry. While Bueckers flashed moments of brilliance, the difference was undeniable. Clark didn't just win the game. She owned the moment. And that's what makes this rivalry so electric. It's no longer just about who's more skilled. It's about who can rise when it matters most. On this night, Caitlin Clark didn't just rise. She elevated the entire Indiana Fever franchise with her. The dynasty whispers have started. If this is what she can do unleashed, the league better be ready for a revolution.